All right, welcome to a brand new goal report for the channel. This one will be a little bit different. I am going to be pretty much collating quarter three, so that would be June, July, and August plus September. So I guess that's kind of 4 months, because the last time I did one was the May goals report from what I remember. And yeah, that's pretty much where I left off with before I kind of stopped uploading. I mean, like, I was still editing content behind the scenes, but I just never got to finish any of them, and kind of paused on them as I headed into the break. If you guys had watched the last video, you know what I'm talking about. I went on a break pretty much for about two to 3 months. Really looking at the stats now, it's more so actually like 1 to 2 months. So call it 1.5 months. But I have about 20 minutes of sunlight, so I always record at the worst time. It's already getting dark, so let's try and make this as quick as possible. Let me bring up my notes, and let's start off with the recaps of the month, or well, the months. So from June all the way to July, August, September. So that's kind of like end of Q2, Q3. So I had 3 monthly calls. If I can just bring it up right now on my YouTube studio. We had 3 monthly calls with Iman inside of Digital Launchpad. That's the program that I'm in, and kind of my main place for learning online business, and also that I'm a proud affiliate of. So we had the power of presence, etiquette, elegance, and elevation. Then on the next day, we had working alone, living connected, friendship, solitude, and online life. Handling online business, working at home. So, with all these things, they're just Q&As essentially, with a central topic. So these are the central topics. And then the recent one we had was the lessons on leadership with Iman. And as always, they're always great. So I always attend them, even though they're kind of 1 to 2:30 a.m. in the morning. It's always nice. Plus I get to record it. I upload it, so anybody else who needs it, I share it with them. And obviously that's exclusive to DL members, so please don't go asking me in the comments if you're not a DL member. So I had monthly calls in between. I still stuck to those. We did have also a book reading challenge, but I feel like maybe I shouldn't include that, because I didn't actually choose to attend it. I didn't choose to participate in it because I felt like that would diverge me from all the books that I'm reading. I'm going to also get to the book that I'm resuming on. This will kind of all link together with the last video, as this is kind of similar, kind of like a checkup video, but in this case this is about my goals and reporting on those, as I've been doing so far for the past such and such months of the year, and I just want to make sure that I follow through. So I had a rare movie binge. Now, I don't go and watch movies very often, but in this case I was in a bit of a work slump, so I didn't pay for anything. That's just the frugality in me. I need to work on that. It's a bad habit. Pretty much I only watched this pentology trilogy. Sorry, my clock just went off, just telling me that I'm on a break. Sorry, let me just reset that. But let me start over. I went on a movie binge, and it was this pentology trilogy movie series, whatever you want to call it, quadrology, which is, I think everyone should know, John Wick. So I watched John Wick 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and then right around the same time, when, coincidentally, John Wick from the world of John Wick Ballerina released. I just found a free version of that online, somehow managed to do it. Don't ask me on it, don't quote me on it. Yeah, right around the release of that was when that kind of started that binge for me. I can remember it towards my birthday, where I kind of just let down the work and I just relaxed. I just paused off work. I didn't need to announce it, and I left everything where it was: emails, Gmails, content creation, all the projects in DaVinci, all that kind of stuff, and I just left it, and then I just went on playing games essentially. And yeah, so watched the John Wick whole timeline of that. So watched, not many people know, but the From the World of John Wick, same title as Ballerina, but about the Continental. So that's kind of the history of the Continental Hotel, all that kind of stuff. And that kind of features more so focuses on this character within John Wick, Winston Scott, which if you have watched the movie, hotel manager of the New York Continental. Yeah, that kind of started really the bout of that slump where I just kind of accepted the fact that, I don't have my focus together right now. And despite it being probably one of the best temperature-wise times to grind, I don't really fall into the, winter arc bullshit. I think it's a bit immature. Generally, I know that I work better during colder seasons, and I did not take advantage of that, quite frankly, during those times, during those months, when it was pretty much peak winter. And instead, I went and watched John Wick, went on a 1 to 2 month break from work, essentially, like completely not even trying to do any work. I still held on to my morning routine and my meditation as much as I can, but even that was still a little finicky. Still kept on it and still maintained the best I can. I have it all recorded right here, which I'll show you guys in a second. But yeah, pretty much from August to September, the whole of September, right around until the next thing that I'm about to lead on to, kind of broke it and then hit me mentally to remind me, like, okay, hey, you need to get back onto work. You only have so much more time left to the year. So went on a 1 to 2 month break from August to September, pretty much playing games. So that was Roblox, Steam, and pretty much just was curing my boredom through there. Like, I have no excuse for this. I didn't use my time well, and I kind of gave in to desire for nostalgia and coming back to the old times where things were simpler. And yeah, I mean, I took a lot out of it, like from the John Wick movie series. I learned a lot about CQB. If you don't know what that is, that's close quarter combat in theory, obviously not in practice. In future times when I'm more in that situation to be able to afford all that kind of stuff, I can get into it. But I did learn a lot about the theory side of it. From it, I also really took up a liking to the industry of hospitality, so hotels, resorts, residences, all that kind of stuff, and how they're able to cater to people. And it really solidified in my mind the idea of, as much as I'm more so on the introverted side of, I just want to work alone. I just want to focus on my thing, have full control all over it, full accountability, full responsibility. It still taught me a lot about networking, about having the right connections around you. Because listen, in that movie, I think what really nailed it down for that movie was the fact that it was realistic, and it wasn't like this guy can just dodge bullets and twist the time of reality like it's the Matrix. He was a guy who did his best to go towards his goals in each movie, but he didn't do it alone. Like, many times he had his ass saved pretty much by other people, which otherwise he would have been dead without, right? So it really solidified in my mind the keywords such as network, power, connection, timing, luck. In a case where it's about career, and just like your career cannot just be solely built off of yourself alone. You need connections, you need power, you need leverage, you need contingency plans, all these kinds of things. So it's solidified in my mind with network, with power, with having protection, having contingency plans for when things go wrong, having funds for a rainy day, and not just being a well-rounded and multifaceted person, really skilled and sharp person, even though he was coming out of retirement like John Wick was presented in the movies, but just having this web over, and this reputation that supersedes yourself, where you have leverage and you have power to be able to pull strings, and it doesn't have to all be done within your own command. That, like, people have your back, people are looking out for you, people will protect you, and you have past relationships, and you built these relationships in place that, like, now they continue to serve you well beyond, say, the times where they were active, etc. So this is very abstract stuff, but all to say, I think that's enough about John Wick. Had the break, and then towards the end of September, I had a live business event. So that was the Make Money Online Challenge 2.0 by Aman. So that was on non-expert digital products. I put out a few stories. Then you may have seen it. Obviously, it took effect on my sleep. Again, I'm not in Europe. I'm not in, I don't know, Africa. I'm not within kind of like the golden time zones where things can be bridged together. I'm in Australia, South Australia, and kind of like right ahead of everybody's time zone. So I was up on those calls, on those sessions, per se, the VIP and the main sessions from like 1 to, the 1:30 a.m. VIP sessions to the main sessions, which often stretch way longer because of, Q&As and after session Q&As, all that kind of stuff. So I was still recording it the best I can, but man, it was tough, and it took a toll on my sleep, of course. As always, this is not the first time that I've attended a live event. So after that, I pretty much recovered. Doing catch-up work, I was only able to, at most, just watch it, go to bed, wake up super late, and then just like have to claw my way through the day, do my morning routine the best I can, have a meal for the day, and try and get some work done. It was quite tough when, you oversleep and it doesn't actually give you more energy, it just makes you more tired. Now that I'm looking at it, this is kind of stretching more into October now, so maybe I'm gonna save this for the goal report on October. I think we'll leave it off there. I had the Make Money Online Challenge event, and I attended that, did all the worksheets, the workbooks, resources, watched Mindset Accelerator, and that's it. All right, let's move on to the main part of the video. I always take too long on those. I try my best. But the goals report, here's how I'm going to go about this. I'm going to just go on through it and kind of summarize it as like 1 month. Just kind of tell you guys how the goal 1 and goal 2s were affected, specifically for each one. So I have it up here. So there you go. That is for June. So for June, I'll read it off to you here. For goal 1, which to bring it up again, goal 1 is my morning routine. So just getting my morning routine done. I did that 26 out of 30 times in June. So overall, that adds to a 6% increase percentage overall, which means 58% of times this so far as of June, I had done my morning routine, which is it's all right, but kind of the parameters I'm aiming for is 75%, so a bit of a long way from that. And then for goal 2 is simply, did I have a productive day, based on specific criteria and markers, ticking off my plan of attack, and getting at least one important piece of work done in the day, and then doing some either content creation or doing a nice to-do task, such as writing the wiki in my SBA worksheet, kind of like a vision board worksheet essentially. So I only did that 21 out of 30 times. That is a percentage of 70%, which is an overall 54%. So just 4% behind of goal 1 as of June. Now this is kind of where it takes a bit of a nosedive, especially for goal 2, because when I went on that break, I had no concern about doing any piece of work, not checking emails, not continuing on agency building or outreach or content creation or reading or doing any nice to do task at the end of the night, admin work essentially. I dropped all of that. So really what took a hit throughout the 4 months was goal 2 the most. While for goal 1, while my morning routine actually held a pretty steady percentage, it actually grew a little bit by 1%. So by July, the goal 1 overall went up by 1.89% to 59.9, so 60%. But goal 2 overall dropped by 4%, because I only did it 9 out of 31 times for July. And then in August, it went for goal 1, it went up another 1%. I did it 21 out of 31 times that month. But again, for goal 2, just took a nosedive, a literal nosedive, and it went down by 5%, almost kind of 6%, because I only did it 2 out of 31 times for the whole entire month. So the last time that happened in August, when the break would have started, was I can see here the 10th of August, where I did do my morning routine, I did do my work, but then after that it just ends. So as in, like, I didn't do any work, or I didn't satisfy that standard for the day, and that pretty much carried on through September, all the way until kind of where I am now, where it's I just resumed work, and now I'm getting wise and I'm continuing to keep that up. But yeah, even all of September, 0 out of 30 days of that month in September did I satisfy my work day productive criteria. And because of that, it went from a 44.85% overall to a 39.92%. So overall, throughout the whole quarter, essentially, it went from 54% to 39%. So 54, 39, that's like a 15% drop. It's insane. I'm just noticing my sun's coming down, so I need to hurry this up. Actually, my workouts kind of held out and stayed pretty steady. It went from, so July, I said 59%, to August, where it was it actually went up another percent to 60%, and then by September it kind of dropped down a little bit by around 1.5%, 1.6% to 59.34. But yeah, essentially for that, to really break it down throughout the whole 4 months, I think 4 months, June, July, August, September, yeah, 4 months. Outreach, I did absolutely zero. I sent 0 messages. Content creation, I wrote 1 here. I definitely did not upload a single video, so I did not, 0. Reading, I did not read all whatsoever. So I'm still on The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. Let me just get it up. It's always so confusing to here we go. So I'm on a page 198 right now. Brianna Wiest, right at the top there. Yep, right there, Brianna Wiest. Yeah, here is the book cover right there. Mountain Is You, Brianna Wiest. I did not read whatsoever during those 4 months, so I am very behind in my reading. I've explained the morning routine, daily productivity. So let's just move on. Changes on goals that I'd probably like to do. I mean, I can at least speak for October so far that with outreach, I am going to pick that up probably tomorrow. Today I just finished clearing up my emails. So that was my business Gmail, any like messages, emails from newsletters, etc. And then also my personal email, which I don't make public, by the way. So the business email is the one linked on my channel. So I'm checking that. And I've just cleared it up today. Content creation, obviously I'm back. You guys see this video, this will be the second video that I have put out since I've come back from my break. And next with reading, I mean, yesterday I picked up reading. I actually picked up reading the book really quickly for about like 15 minutes. And man, the book is, it's all right. It's all right so far. But obviously I just need to finish the book. Hopefully I can just finish it by this month. And then maybe, next month I can start to kind of speed read a little bit more, pick some shorter books. I know I have a few in here that could push me back up to par in order to make up for the books I have not read so far. I'll be picking it up again. There's about 42 pages left to the book, so I should be able to get it done by the end of October. Today is the 25th of October, Saturday, 7:51 p.m. So just always want to let you guys know when I'm recording these. You can then kind of guess how long it's been since then. Yeah, morning routine. Really, morning routine and daily productivity is just something that I will need to passively work through and just recollect my focus on. Speaking of that, let's just move on to the next topic on the recalibrations and scope for next month, which is this month, October. I'm trying to actively recollect myself back on work and recollect my focus. So that means finding out where I left off from and then whether that's actually the most efficient way to go about things. I think before the break, I was really still held up a little bit by my limiting beliefs, such as a bit of perfectionism, a bit of procrastination in a way that like I simply did not do the actual work that is going to deliver me direct results for my agency and to get that up and then to sustain it, etc. I know I've fallen short of that, and I think coming back from this break, it wasn't all bad. I still took a lot of things from it, like learning games intentionally, all this kind of stuff, CQB, network, power, these abstract terms which actually have a lot of weight in real life. And I took a lot of things. I really kind of, I guess, not to get too airy-fairy, it's getting dark now, I want to wrap up the video. I've come back with a refreshed mind, a mindset shift, you could say. I also watched, during, if I didn't say it already, I watched Mindset Accelerator. So I watched about 9 hours of the 13 hours of content until like 2 weeks ago, like last Tuesday, where I finished with the program. I processed my refund with that now that the event was over, and I kept it pushing. I still learned a lot from those things, and I think I'm now going to take those things into application and also learnings from the event as well, to just not waste the last few months of time that I have left for this year. I feel like, just to be a little bit honest with you guys, and really I just feel like I have not been pushing to the standard that I could be doing, and pushing to the optimal amount of productivity and focus and work that I should have been doing. Listen, what can I do now? I can only reflect back on it, and I could say it is a different environment that I've never had before. Being able to have, truly being able to have the opportunity of a whole year to work at home and get your shit straight and get your priorities straight in online business is great, but it comes with its drawbacks, quite frankly. You have so much time in the world, and it's like, as much as like it sounds such like a blessing to have all the time in the world to work on your business, you'd think like it would go great. Truth is, it means that you have to be completely responsible and accountable for your time, and if you mess up on a day, it is your fault. If you don't show up to work on time, it's your fault. If you don't do your morning routine on time, it's your fault. If you don't sleep on time, that's your fault, right? Everything is within your control. And so pretty much what I'm trying to say, like, you're given the burden of choice. You're given a burden of freedom, which is you are at the consequences of every single decision that you make. And I know it sounds kind of a little bit abstract, and it's like, well, no shit, kind of that's how life is. But I think the difference is I have all the time, all the free time that I want. I could fuck around if I wanted to, and I did fuck around for, the whole of July, August, all the way to September, right? And it goes to show, like, nobody's going to hold me back. And that's the problem. It means that I'm the only person to hold me back. I don't have a part-time job at the moment to have to go to. I don't have any further studies like college or university. And so it means like all the control is in my hands, and that's kind of scary. It means like you really need to hold self-control over your time. Otherwise, it's just not going to be as effective. So, that's very different compared to, say, when you do have a part-time job, you do have college, you do have university, and it gives you that pressure every single day to not only complete your studies and make sure you get your studies and your assignments and your homework done on time, but that you also go home and it's like, okay, great, now I have the 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5, right? Whether you actually have a job or school, you pretty much spend 6 to 8 hours within transit, and then being at school. It's pretty comparable to a 9 to 5. So it's like, at least you have the pressure of like, okay, I have limited time. Now I have the 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. I have time after I get back home from school. I'm tired. I'm tired from my job, whatever it is, but I have the pressure on my back to make the most out of it. Well, like for me, it's like, if I mess up on one day and I wasn't doing any of these goal reports and all this, who would know? Quite frankly, who would know? Right. So it's to me, it's like, I have to hold myself accountable to every single thing that I do. And I've been given the burden of choice. I guess in that case, for someone, you may have a part-time job or you're in school, you have the burden of pressure, right? Pressure as in pressure to make the most out of the limited time you have. For me, technically I have unlimited time. I could fuck around, I could sleep around, and no one would know. No one's holding me accountable. And that's kind of scary, but kind of liberating at the same time. It's a weird thing. But just understand what I'm trying to say is, I kind of rambled on, is it comes with its pros and cons. As much as it sounds great, that I had all the time this year to make up my business, I feel like I haven't worked more than 3 months worth, and it's been 10 months now. And I think that's a very honest and brutal comparison of how much work I've done compared to the focus I've done. Like, even while I read you guys, the results for each month, only 50% of the time, pretty much on average, overall, between both goals, between my morning routine and my daily productivity, only 50% of the days. Looking at it now, let me just calculate real quickly. Yeah, pretty much. 59.34, 39.92. I don't know, added together, that's like 98%, right? 99.26%. Divide that by 2, you get the average. So 46.93. So pretty much 50% of the days, like just picture this in your head so far for my current performance for this year. 50% of the time on average did I do my morning routine, and that I also had a productive day. It's just, I think, to me, when you put it in picture like that, it doesn't sound very productive, right? It doesn't sound like very productive. It sounds like maybe in terms of, even if I had school, I would have had the same performance as you did. Whatever it is, whatever you're going at, if you have some different ambition outside of school or your part-time job, obviously you have the job, at least you're getting money, right? I have to budget money. I don't really necessarily have too much crazy cash flow from all my businesses. I'm still trying to get it all up and running and working it sustainably. I'm in the same position as any other beginner online entrepreneur is, which is figuring out, trying to find a sustainable income and cash flow in whatever business model that they're going to choose in. And for me, I've chosen that to be my agency. But all that to say, I'm rambling on a lot. It's pretty dark. My mouth is extremely dry. Oh god. All that to say, the scope for this month, October, the remaining 5-6 days of October, 6 days, I am trying to collect myself, pick up back on where I left off, incrementally increase my working hours. So I've started from 2 hours and now I'm moving up to 3 and 4 hours this week. So as I get that, my routine consistent and all that kind of stuff, my work will do so, and I will incrementally increase my hours. I'm not trying to jump straight into doing 8 hours or 12 hours of work. I think I've really let down that mindset of trying to be so strict and rigid with my routine, when I realized a lot of the way I've had to maneuver with my schedule and my time is I've had to adapt. A lot of the times I've had to change to, okay, maybe the fact that I slept in, now it means, okay, I can only do specific essential tasks for the day just to make sure that I get the day ticked at least. Or maybe I'm feeling a little bit more tired, which is rare, but it happens. And then, okay, maybe I want to sleep early in today, so I'll do less work. And it's just about adapting and shifting, kind of like, when you're going to the gym, like if you're feeling weak that day, maybe put in less plates. Don't put yourself under the bar and get crushed because you're ignoring how sore you feel or this, that. It's like you got to shift the weights on and off the plate depending on your performance that day and how you feel that day. So taking on that same principle, I'm just incrementally increasing my hours and also adapting it and recalibrating it based on, if a disruption happens, if I sleep in, usually that's a big cost of my time, unfortunately. And just make adjustments where necessary to be more efficient with my time, instead of, keeping a rigid routine each day. And I mean, really, I will explain in the next few videos. I really want to just dump down and do more, just kind of do sit downs right now as I flush out the backlogged vlogs, just to really show you guys like the learning lessons I took from the Make Money Online Challenge 2.0, the Mindset Accelerator from consulting.com. That's not a program you can buy anymore. It was on sale for $2,000. I bought that for the Mindset Accelerator week. I bought the Mindset Accelerator week for like $100. It was a VIP bonus. It was like a bonus that you could buy, and I bought that and I watched majority of the content. And I didn't get to watch all of it, but I know in the future I will get access to that content likely anyways. I'll find a way. But I took a lot out of it, and I want to share with you guys because I feel like, as I grow, I want, it's the whole philosophy of this channel that I want to share you guys what I'm learning and what I'm picking up. And I feel like it would be applicable and useful to you all as well. With that being said, I just want to look at my my monthly planner, my yearly planner for the end of the last 3 months of this year, and I just want to say, there's only so much I could do. So we're at October now, nearing towards the end of Q3, or actually no, it's already Q4. I will continue to try and do the aims of each Q3 and do my best and try and crunch that down. Just to be honest with, at this rate where I'm at with uploading videos, reading books, outreach messages, I'm probably not going to hit my goals by the end of the year. But, again, just to kind of leave this on the last note, I'll show you guys also the last 3 months of work would look like ideally. It's 1,023 outreach messages, 5 videos, 1 book, but the accumulation of that through the past 10 months, I'm not up to par with that. And it's fine. It is what it is. I will still try and take control of my present moment, so today and tomorrow, and just do the best I can. I'm not just going to give up on my goals just because I'm not there yet to meeting them. That's the point of the goals. Is I said this at the start, the point of it is not actually to reach it per se, but it's being able to set a goal that will push yourself beyond what you can do or what is realistic of your performance, to set a standard for what you should do. It's not necessarily about achieving the goals, whatever the outcome that I desired for 2025 next to the action, but it's about being able to set in place what you can control, the action. As I said, with setting action orientated goals, setting it as a standard every single day to do, and pushing yourself through that. I know it sounds like such a cop-out answer. All to say, I'm obviously not going to just give up on my goals now just because I'm not going to reach them by the end of the year. But I'll still push every single day to meet that standard at least, and just do the best I can with the remaining time. And that's it. That's all we need. Just the ethics, just the work ethic to continue pushing, and just being persistent, being consistent, and continuing to push no matter what the odds look like. And for me, showing you guys the monthly planner, looking at the yearly planner, and the goal that I set to achieve, and the actions I set every single day, it's still possible in some way. But it's just, hey, I set a standard, I set an amount of actions that I wanted to do: 52 videos a year, 12 books read, 12,000 messages by the end. Will I realistically hit those at this rate? Honestly, no. But I'm still going to try. I'm still going to try with the remaining 90 days. And I'm not going to give up. So I think I'm far from that. And I've gone way past that kind of stuff to be thinking about doubting the journey and the process. I still have a long way to go, guys. This is just the start of my journey, and who knows where I could be in 5 years time, 10 years time. Who really knows? But the matter is that I'm just putting one foot forward in front of the other every single day, and I'm just continuing to push every single day, and being patient, and just doing the best I can with each single day. So I've rambled on a lot, but that is the end of the Q3 goals report. That is spanning from June to September. Expect a October goal report. I'm just going to continue working for the next 6 remaining days of the month. Final note, expect a few sit downs, same desk, of what I've learned throughout the break, sharing you guys some ideas just on my head that I've written down, and I've scripted already, and just sharing you guys the lessons I learned throughout this 1 to 2 month break, which I surprisingly took a few out of. So with that being said, thank you guys for sticking around. If you've stuck around this far, however long this video will be when it comes out, appreciate you guys coming. Expect new videos coming out as always, and as always, hope you guys have enjoyed. That is the end of Q2 Q3 goal report. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.